Inspector Middleton.
That was Paul. That was the whole Pablo's idea. I thought it's about time we had a bit of a laugh and a change. It's quite hilarious doing them, to be honest.
Oh
It
yeah,
would change,
yeah.
you know.
You're doing well to keep a straight face.
I know it's. I had on that third one you put up, which was the first one. I cracked myself up. I cried. Because,
You can see you almost breaking into laughter some of the times, yeah.
well, we decided to keep all that because we thought we'd do cutouts, you know, at the end, but no, it's quite funny. Paul is at the other end telling me, keep going.
Keep going, yeah.
Just keep going. Don't stop, whatever
He's got quite a few lined up. In one of them, I get kidnapped. Kidnapped with a thing up in front, you know, ransom note and all that. You know. Anyway, you seen my post about the beach wheelchair, haven't you?
Oh yeah. We're
getting on with that. There's a lot of support. We've had. I've been in touch with the Peter Byner City Council for some time. They're all for it, and Mumbles Community Council has put forward the $3,500 to actually purchase the chair after April, the next fiscal year, you know. And the idea is that the R&I are quite keen. Tom John, the supervisor, said that they would store it on undercover or in the storehouse, and they would run it during the first season. So they would put it down on the beach, thereby not worrying about access. And then basically the funding we're having is on the proviso that the R&I use it as a rescue tool to bring either disabled or people in problems back up to the hut. And then the following year we take over, and then the city council will maintain it annually like they do in Surfability in Castle. So I got a lot of people really waiting for it now, because there's so many people now want to get in the water, especially after COVID, but they got a lot of disabilities or problems and can't get down the beach. But the issue is we got an engineer coming from the council to look at access. Now there's a ramp under the Braz, but they never finished it properly. If you've been down there, there's quite a drop at the end of that new ramp. There's a lot of stones there.
Why don't they build a ramp by the slip?
Yeah, well, look, he took the best ramp.
The best ramp in Langland, they took away, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was cool. Wasn't it? All the girls used to sit there. No, that was the place to meet, wasn't it?
Was so ridiculous. And when I saw that when I came up one time, right? I thought, what's this? What's happened? It's like after the beach was missing. No, when you haven't seen it before, you know, when you see it being taken away in pieces, then it's not so bad. But I've been away for about 5 years. I came up to Langland and standing by the slip. I thought, hang on, what? I was going to go walk down the beach. I thought, hang on, there's something missing, yeah?
Yeah, the whole thing went, I know, yeah. So that's the plan. We'll wait now, see what the engineers say. They'll do something eventually. It's a good start anyway.
How much is it costing, Howard, in total?
Well, it's about 3,800, I think, to purchase the chair. It'll be under warranty for a year, so they do the maintenance. The R&I have offered to set it up for free, you know, hold it in when they're not there, and they'll be on the beach while they're there. Then next season, the season after that, we'll sort out the access and then decide how we're going to approach using it. They've got it in Tenby and Haverfordwest and other places, and they run an online booking scheme. So we may do something like that, you know.
It's we've got a permanent lifeguard station in Portina now.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Absolute rubbish access onto the beach.
I know. Yeah.
A rickety old timber, not timber, but pretending timber ramp down, which is just all over the place. And again, it would be ideal to have something like that in Portina. Just the cost and how we could afford to do it. Obviously, the community council could put some money in, but when not anybody else in the area would contribute,
it's the access.
Then it's the running cost then afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah, well, City Council are running the two in Castle, and they said they put in funding to run hours after the warranty runs out.
Mm.
It's the storage and maintenance, but a lot of people in other areas just have it covered over and locked up.
Yeah.
The ramp, it have to be done properly because you know what the tides are like down in Langland.
Yeah.
And they may do it like a right turn concrete. I mean, the steps by the lifeguard hut can be maybe filled in with those plastic blocks they use. But that's something for the following season. The lifeguards will sort it out for next season anyway.
That always amazed me when we saw the digger came down to the beach and just started chewing up all the steps and the ramp and everything. And what
Yeah.
did we say? You know, it was going to be exactly the same in 2 or 3 years' time, and it's
Yeah,
exactly the same.
I know.
Hmm.
Well, we are living on the Bristol Channel.
Yeah, well, they can't put it down deep enough, can they? You know?
No. And they can't move. Peter Byrne was telling me they can't move what's in front. The old ramp was done that we used to have a boat in the lifeguard station. They can't move any more, or the step, because it's fitted notched in with the footings on the top pathway going to Surfside and holds up the lifeguard station.
All right.
So if they took any more down, the whole thing would collapse.
Yeah, because like I say, in Portine, there is a ramp of sorts, and there is a concrete ramp which they put in about probably 10 years ago at phenomenal cost.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable cost. But again, we do have problems because the tides coming in and out just moves the sand away from the bottom of the ramp. And sometimes it stands up the ramp, and sometimes is a drop off the end of the ramp.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, it's totally
natural,
unpredictable.
isn't it?
Well, the one under the brass will have to be, filled and then go at least 20 or 30 feet down across the beach to cover that at the right angle, At least it's not so bad in that corner. It doesn't get the full force, because we mainly southwesterlies. It doesn't get the full force like you do in front of the lifeguard station area.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's the sort of money that we could get.
Right?
That's up at the Cummer end, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. The Conibear. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Quite there. That's old Johnny Hutton used to sit up there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who takes responsibility then, Howard, for sort of moving people around the beach and in and off and anything else?
The first season will be R&I as an emergency thing. After that, we have to decide. It'll have to be a risk assessment or in what they do in surfability covered by insurance. So it'll be something we'll have to ask the city council about once we get it, try it out with the R&I and then discuss all that. But yeah, there'll have to be some kind of third party public liability insurance on it.
No,
So what they do, if you can hire them out, if you just what happens in the other place is they book them online and bring either the carers down or one of the members of the family and then take it out. So, that's probably the way we might approach it.
Yeah, hire it
probably
out
the best way,
like you're hiring out a paddle board or something.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly, Con. It's the same thing.
Same principle, isn't it? You got your higher insurance for it.
Yeah.
And that would be it then. And then the lack of responsibility is not on you afterwards, is it?
No.
And they go in the water as well, Howard, do they? To a certain they can just sort of get into the water, sort of paddle.
Yeah, the one we're getting doesn't go all. It'll go into the water, and it's got these big balloon tires.
Yeah.
It'll go in so far, but it's not like they've got two in Castle, one like that, and the other one is more of a horizontal, where you can actually push the person right into the water, up several feet. Especially if you want to go surfing or something like that.
Yeah.
But that may be something later, but they are really expensive. They are.
Yeah, right. Well, a bloody good idea, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think
of course,
just getting people on the beach, would be a great deal,
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
any of the beaches in Gower, you can't get on the beach, and if you unless you've got a specially adapted wheelchair with big tires on, you ain't gonna go on the
Yeah.
beach.
No, no. See,
You
it'd
got-
be great for Paul Trevanion, you know. We all know Paul. He'd been there for donkey's years. He'd love to go. He's in a motorized. He can get so far, but he can't get down that ramp.
No.
He'd love to go. He can walk a little bit, but he's getting not too good at the moment. So he'd love to go back. He used to crab a lot on Crab Island and get around, but he can't get on the beach at the moment, you know.
Mm.
It's frustrating, isn't it? If you really want to do it and you can't get there.
Yeah. Mind you, do many people want to get in the water with all the sewage
I know
lurks at the
it is.
moment? It's a nightmare.
It seems to be going backwards, the old sewage problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was actually interviewed on Friday by a Megan Davis from BBC.
Yeah.
I
She's
saw the post. She was asking.
Yeah, she met me down there because she heard that we were doing the wheelchair project, and she wants to get involved in that as well. But she sat down with me. We had a 3-minute quick clip, and they'll put it all together. I don't know when it's coming out, but we had a good backdrop. We had all the Langland Bay huts in the background and discussed Langland.
Excellent. Is
But
that the girl? Is that the girl from Wales Online?
BBC TV.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
It might be also
I
the
get
Welsh.
mixed up.
Yeah, she does it in Welsh and English. So
Oh,
it's BBC TV anyway.
Oh, good one.
So it'd be Langland in the spotlight again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is that got blue flag status now?
Well, it used to. I'm not quite sure what the situation is with that since we've left the EU. I think it still has, actually.
More of a turquoise brown, isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
It's got to be, no pollution in the beach for so many days of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, because of all the rain we've had, it's impossible, isn't it?
I know. It just, well, we all know why, because they never actually put the infrastructure in.
No, no.
You know,
Just open the sluice gates, don't they?
yeah,
it?
and they're apparently allowed to do it.
I know. And the it's supposed to be non-profit, and yet the CEO had like £750,000 backhander recently.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
The thing that sort of amazes me, like when we were younger, and there wasn't any pollution with sewage. But every day it was in the water every day. Then 'cause it wasn't even treated; it was just pumped out in the middle of Swansea Bay and Mumble's Head.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
saying, "Oh yeah, well the tide will take it. All it does is take it round in a circle and drop it back in." But then again, at that time, we had all the sewage, not the sewage, the stuff coming out of the Swansea River, Abertawe,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Port Talbot and the Neath River. All
yeah.
that stuff was going into Swansea Bay, and Swansea Bay was probably one of the worst polluted bays in the world,
Swansea Bay, yeah.
according to
Especially
Greenpeace.
in the old time with the copper. But
Yeah.
I mean, I started 64, 65. We didn't you saw a wave, you're out there all the time. Didn't even think about it, did you really?
Yeah, right.
Oh, you just saw it floating by.
Yeah, just
I don't remember noticing it. It might have been out there, but I never actually physically saw anything,
I can remember a few times, and the
Yeah.
times every time we went to Aberafan, you'd see it all the time.
Well, yes, Aberafan, yes, yeah.
I remember a sheep floated up on the front of my board. I thought, what the?
Oh God.
I can remember down in Llangenneth as well.
Yeah.
We'd come up from Buryport and wrap round Bury Homes.
Yeah, you'd have the brown white water, wouldn't you? Shit.
Yeah.
You have white bits of white water and brown bits of white water. You never paddle out in the white. It's like the Eskimos don't go near the yellow snow, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The thing about all that sewage is that it attracts the plankton. The plankton feed off all that big bacteria and stuff. So that's going to cause more plankton coming around as well.
That's when you get all that horrible frothy stuff in the water.
Yeah. And look what happened in Ireland with the lakes.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in the lakes. It obviously killed them off.
But
Everything's dead.
I don't know if they got it in Wales or Britain now, but over here, right? We had a huge problem with the farmers using nitrogen on the fields.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
dear, Tom.
Yeah, and it all goes
Big
down into
deal.
the water
yeah.
in the
All down
rivers,
river.
and then
Yeah,
you get all this green slime,
yeah,
Mm.
which builds up. They got certain beaches here in the summer, which is forbidden to go on the beaches, because if you walk through it or on it, it releases a carbon dioxide gas, which can knock
yeah.
you out, totally kill you. You know, you see,
Well, that's what happened in the lakes. Exactly. Mm.
but dangerous to people and, well, especially the dogs. Dogs are
Yeah.
just running around in it, and all of a sudden the dogs just fly.
The vets were saying that the lake in Ireland, if a dog dived in and was 2 or 3 minutes, he'd be dead overnight. That's how bad it is. You know?
So what are they going to do about it? There was an article on the radio a couple of weeks back, and I just heard the tail end of it, but I remember them saying that it's nobody's going to hold responsibility for putting it right.
No, it's still the same.
Mm.
It's dead. Absolutely everything's dead there.
It's just classic, and it's always somebody else's fault, and someone else has got to pay.
But
Yeah.
the best one is, but back in the day we didn't know about that.
No.
Yeah, well, they know about it. They've known about it now for quite a long time, and they still haven't done anything about it.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, it's not good for anyone, these surfers and swimmers, but the swimmers are in the water most of the time.
Yeah.
And these surfers are in the water and actually swimming in the water itself. They're on their boards, sitting or surfing. But the swimmers, a friend of mine, one of our swimmers, 5 weeks ago, nearly died from an infection. He went swimming in a local reservoir in Swansea. And 5 days later, ended up with sepsis in a hospital.
Yeah.
So it is deadly,
Oh, it is. It just beggars belief how we got ourselves into this state, really.
I know.
It's
Shocking.
cheap skating, isn't it? It's just saving money.
Yeah, of course.
My uncle used to work in Clandarcy, and I told him I was surfing in Aberavon. This is going back years ago, and he said, "Don't you ever go in that water there?" He said,
Yeah.
"Don't you ever go in there?" He said, "Because I know what stuff we pump out." And they wait for the certain tides and a certain wind direction, and they burn off all the crap out of the towers. And then he said we'd pump it all into the sea.
A guy
Deadly.
in BP back in the 60s, early 70s used to bring us down a bag of wax every now and again, huge massive sack of wax for our surfboards. It's an product of what they were doing in BP.
Desperate place. When I was working, I did a job for Kenny Fraser, and he had a factory unit over there. And not far away from his factory unit, there was quite a few areas which were just dead. And there's all these signs up around it, do not enter, poison, whatever. And I didn't go that close, but I saw photographs someone had taken of all these dead animals, foxes and dogs and cats that ventured into this area. And the contamination was so high, these animals just died there and then.
A nightmare, that.
And all that's just soaking into the sea.
Yeah.
Desperate.
Yeah.
Puts you off, doesn't it, really?
Well, it does.
Yeah.
I remember when I must have been about 17. If you're coming out of Gower, go past the garage in Merton on the hill there.
Yeah.
And there's a few houses on the left, and there's a little lane. And we used to go down the lane because we knew a guy who lived at the end. And it was a dumping ground for 3Ms. And they dumped all their waste, anything that waste.
Yeah, I remember the tape dump that was there.
Yeah, we used to go down there getting sticky tape, all sorts of sticky tape.
Oh, yeah.
They dropped a box of sticky tape. The box went down and they just tipped it. It didn't pay them to take the box apart and get all and they just dumped it, plus all the empty canisters of chemicals and stuff. The place stank of fluorocarbon. Carbines, is it? Fluorocarbon?
Yeah, carbine.
That smelly, it's like smelling glue. It just, the whole place stank of it. And they just covered it with earth. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
That all goes down and comes out at Castle Bay. So that little stream,
of course.
So I dread to think what's coming out down there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There was no remediation. They just ploughed it into the ground and covered it with earth. all that's fermenting away under the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's why you've got all this fly tipping today, isn't it? Is because it costs so much to get rid of it legally, so people are dumping it all over the place. I'm not saying it's right, but that's the reason for it. It didn't seem to happen years ago. I remember that tip where all the tape was. I remember going there. We used to walk up over Fairwood Common from when I lived in West Cross and get rolls of tape from there. But yeah, I'd forgotten about it till you said.
Yeah, it's all been hushed up. No one knows about it.
No.
So one day someone's going to say, "Oh, there's a lot of stuff down there. What's this all about?"
Yeah.
Conveniently forgotten about.
Somebody will dig there one day, probably.
They build houses on it and it'll get poisoned.
Yeah.
Is that the one off Mansfield Feed Lane? Is it, Rob?
No, it's if you come up the hill from coming up the hill past the garage,
Northway, yeah.
garage, and you just go before you turn right to go into Merton. There's a little lane on your left.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah.
It's in between a few houses. They put a gate across it now.
Right. Yeah.
But
They
before
found
you go right down there.
They found a big bomb there years ago from the war. Up by that lane.
It's not surprising. It's close to the airport.
They shut the old air off all day.
It's like
they probably exploded that and they'd used the hole to fill it with tape.
Yeah. There's like guy on telly who had one in his bloody garden, didn't he? He had it painted pink or something.
That's right,
And the policeman knocked on the door and said, I think you've got was it about a 30-pound bomb in your front garden?
There's loads down in Whitford Burrows.
Yeah.
Chemical shells.
Well, there was someone who put a report on the internet. I can't remember who did it, but they did some gas testing in the estuary. And they did 2 dropping these gas bombs onto a herd of cows and a big flock of sheep, which was all tied down on the in the sea. And it was some bloody really nasty stuff. But they reckon that the tides would wash it all away anyway, so it'll be all right. It was something seriously bad.
Yeah. Well, how many gallons of diesel was spilled? Remember that train derailed in that was about a year or 2 ago, wasn't it?
Probably a lot more now, but there was a hell of a lot of oil just discharged.
Talk about pollution. There's an island up in the Hebrides, okay, that the British government used to test anthrax.
I've been there, Ron.
That's the stuff they dumped on the beach.
All right, okay. And in the end, they had to take off all the topsoil from the island. It's uninhabitable anyway.
Yeah.
But now apparently it's they've got sheep on there and they're still surviving now.
Yeah, Death Island.
What's it?
It's a 20-minute drive from where my daughter lives in Aldbay, in the Western Highlands. We went there, and they tried to do something in 1980. It was privately owned. Yeah.
And I saw a great documentary on it the other day. It was just like, wow, what are they doing? What are people doing,
I know.
You're dumping anthrax. I'll even try that,
Yeah. Go around.
And they got fishermen were getting anthrax and stuff like that, weren't they, on the boats? Because all the spores are coming off the land.
Yes.
So they were all forbidden to fish within so many miles of it then. It's ridiculous.
Well, we all remember the leak at radioactive leak at one in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's contaminated parts of Britain.
Of course,
not a great deal. They did all these testing.
Chernobyl killed Ted's son, John.
And then they found out then in North Wales and parts of Scotland, there was very high levels of radioactivity.
Yeah.
But when they checked it, it wasn't anything to do with Chernobyl. It was the Windscale one that went off in '64. There was an accident. And they now realised after Chernobyl that a large area of North Wales was so contaminated that the farmers still have sheep on the fields, but they're not allowed to sell them to the public.
Yeah,
go
that's
straight
right.
into
And the
waste.
milk as well. Mm.
Yeah,
That was Grunad Island. It was Con you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Anthrax. Yeah, yeah. I've got some load of pictures of that when we went over there. Well, I didn't actually go on the island, but I stood on the shore and took a load. It's only about a mile, half a mile from the shore.
Mm.
Mm.
It was the
Yeah.
Chernobyl one, Kip, because well, this is what I've heard. So it's bound to be true, isn't it?
absolutely.
It's that the Chernobyl cloud came over and went straight over North Wales.
Yeah.
The heaviest part of it was in North Wales, and it rained, and that went into the lakes. And at that time, Ted was up there with his family up in the lakes, and his son John was just spending all his time in the water, and he was out in the rain and all that. So anyway, that passed by. Didn't think anything of it. Lo and behold, about 10 years later, he gets leukemia.
Yeah.
And it's the same sort of leukemia that was coming from the cancers that the Russians were getting from Chernobyl. So you can say Ted's son John was killed by Chernobyl, basically.
Yeah.
It was strontium 90, wasn't it? I think.
I don't know. I don't know how I've got no idea.
Yeah,
Bloody-
because what
bloody
they
shit.
found in Scotland was uranium-235, and when they started publishing the data, the scientists said, "Well, hang about. This was released when we had this nuclear accident in the 60s.
Mm.
So it was still there, but they're trying to. Initially, they thought it was to do with Chernobyl.
Yeah, but they probably had the two lots, you know.
Oh yeah, this,
But
Yeah,
because you had
that was-
a new dump of radioactivity, a radioactive cloud coming down straight out in a stream of weather from Chernobyl to North Wales, basically. And they showed the wind charts at that time.
Yeah.
And it was a low and an anticyclone, and in between it was Chernobyl, and it's all pushing east, west, all the weather systems. It went all over North France. All of Scandinavia and North Wales got a real heavy lump of it. So it's incredible, isn't it? You know,
The mid-80s, 80, 86, something like that.
It's scary. We got no control over it.
makes you think, where was I that day? Did I get a dose or what?
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah. The thing is, like all these illnesses, either you're susceptible to them or you're not. It depends on your genes, basically.
Well, that's it, basically, as well. There is a lot.
If you've got a weakness for something, and you suddenly come into contact with it in a big deal, then the chances are you're going to suffer from it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's just one of those things. We're all different. We all got different weaknesses.
Exactly.
Yeah. On that happy note, boys.
Yeah.
It's been a happy session.
I got a weakness about being run over by a bus.
How many times have you been run over by a bus, Con?
Not yet, because I've been taking precautions. I've been putting up anti-bus warnings and everything.
Well, the thing is,
no bus pollution around here. No, but seriously, it's fucking disgusting, isn't it? Anyway.
it's easy. You can easily, I think I told you, Biscuit, didn't I? Fell out the office door the other day. The simplest things in the world. I went out the office, locked the door, and realized that I hadn't turned the heater off. So I opened the doors, went back into the office, these are big aluminium doors, front shop doors. Opened it, thought it had shut, gone in the dark, switched the heater off, went back to the door, give the door a great big push, and it wasn't there. The door was already stuck open.
Oh, God.
Flew out of the office door onto the path below. You go through the air, and I'm thinking, I think this is going to hurt. You hit the floor and you go, oh, have I broken anything? Can I move everything? I did have my hand. I've just been bad shaken, but you're only one smidgen move away from, well, serious injury. Put it that way. Quite easily. Yeah, easily it can happen.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, anything could happen.
Huh?
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. It just, you drop your guard, don't you? You don't think about things enough.
the first morning back from hospital, I fell down on our stairs from the bed, top of the bed. I said, what the hell's happened there? I'm
Yeah.
still about zombied out, I think, you know.
Well, this is it. You know, if you don't think about what you're doing, sometimes that's when the errors occur.
Yeah.
You know, most accidents are due to negligence, and the negligence comes in when you don't think about what it is you're doing properly.
And most accidents occur at home.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talking about accidents at home, are we gonna have a Christmas party?
Aye. Yeah. Go for it, Con.
Yeah.
what day? The thing is, Christmas Eve. Don't know how people are, what they're doing on Christmas Eve. I'm about. I can spend an hour, but I wouldn't want to spend too much because it's going to be probably a lot to do.
What day is it? It's Christmas Eve is
Yeah, Monday. Christmas is Monday, so Christmas Eve Sunday.
It'll be a Sunday evening again.
Yeah.
yeah, Sunday evening.
It was actually
25th. Sunday evening is perfect.
next week.
What are you going to be doing? You just got to get yourself up off a couch after sleeping and being drinking and eating all day.
Oh no, because it's not Christmas Day, is it? It's Christmas Eve.
Oh yes, Christmas Eve, not Christmas
Day.
Day.
A week tonight, Con. It's a week tonight.
Yeah. All right. Oh, you could have a short meeting Christmas Eve if you want. Doesn't bother me. I'm not doing it. I'm like usual. I turn off for Christmas.
Yeah.
Not having anything on really. Like usual, I don't do anything for it. You know, I don't believe in it. So.
No.
Humbug. Fucking humbug. To a humbug. No, but
you're not having turkey then, Con?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not that humbug, you know. I'm gonna buy some sprouts and some turkey and or it'd probably be chicken actually, not turkey, but I don't usually eat meat now anyway, so but I
hardly ever eat it.
I do like a bit of chicken now and again. So yeah, probably have that. But I've ordered my Christmas shirt as well, so you know we got to do something somewhere.
Ah, yeah, Christmas pullovers and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to dress up for the night.
I'm so humbug that I bought something. A nice shiny shirt. Oh yeah.
The Boxing Day starting to close swim is on in Langland.
Yeah.
Right.
Sewage permitting.
I hope we don't have too much rain. Yeah.
I won't be in. I can't go in at the moment. I'm waiting for this operation and I'm afraid to get any infections. I've been
you can't take a risk.
No, you don't want to turn it, I do.
And they said I can't fly anywhere. If I fly, say Jen's going to see the grandchildren just after Christmas for a week, but I can't go because if I fly, they won't operate for 6 weeks. Because of infections you know catch on the plane and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not going anywhere. Take it there, I'll be here.
Have you got to get a visa now to go to France?
No, we're all right. We had the one visa, but that was for 6 months. The only advantage with that was a nightmare getting that. The only advantage, as Con knows, you can add the 90 days onto the 6 months, but you've got to come home for 24 hours and shoot off again. No, we just been doing, like we spent a month in September and then we over a year, but I haven't done the 90 days.
Because if you just want to go over there, you don't have to have a visa, do you?
No, you can go up to 90 days, yeah.
No, from January next year, you have to have a visa which lasts 3 years. It costs 15 quid. Not many people know about it. They may delay it because not many people know about it.
I think they delayed it. That this is something on top. It's not a visa. It's a additional security thing, isn't it? I think they delayed it till next October.
Because you've got to get one to go anywhere in Europe. You know, it's like Europe have said, okay.
I think it was €6, wasn't it? I think it was €6. That's what they said the new price was.
It wasn't a lot of money, but I think they said it lasts for 3 years.
Yeah, that's right. It lasts for 3 years.
It's like when you had to get an international driving license.
Yeah.
You've
still got to have your visa on top of that.
Yeah. The French government had a bit of a wobbly because they realised that a lot of Pats were selling up their holiday homes and they weren't coming.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah,
they've decided now that maybe we were a bit too tight on the 80 days, and it looks as though they're going to try and change it to give people more opportunities to go on France on holiday.
Yeah.
Well-
I think that it'll get easier and easier with a little bit less paper as it went to we're just showing your passport and getting in, like, you know.
Well,
But-
they're going to do something because they've lost so much money in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
It's got a massive hole in the economy. So
there's
I can see it over here. There's a lot less Brits about.
Mm.
A lot less.
Yeah,
we
don't
got
mention
about
it.
30 or 40 seconds left, guys. I'm going for a shower, so I'll catch you next week. All right.
Well, I've got a lot on tonight.
All right.
Whatever
Good,
Christmas
Dad.
doing next week, then, is it, Con?
All right. Yeah. I'll get dressed up for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Try and catch up in a week on. And,
All right. Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, we've got some Kip and Con recordings to do.